I'm here with Valerie Thompson, America's Queen of Speed. Hey, Valerie, how's it going? Good. My name is Ari Levenbaum, and I am the COO and co-owner of Law Tigers, America's Motorcycle Lawyers. And we're here today talking to Valerie about her career, about her experience both as a drag racer as well as setting land speed records, and also to talk a little bit about, just her viewpoint on women in riding and the industry. And lastly, to congratulate her on her induction, or upcoming induction, into the Sturgis Hall of Fame. And congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you.
My pleasure. So I'm just going to ask Valerie some questions today, get to know her a little bit, and see where things go. So how many years have you been riding motorcycles, Valerie?
I've been riding motorcycles since 1999. My first bike was a custom 1999 Harley Davidson Sportster 100. I soon graduated to a Fat Boy, which I still own 3 months later. So
that's quite a jump from a Sportster.
It wasn't fast enough. Back in the day, I already had the need for speed. I just didn't know it.
Talking about the need for speed, I forgot to ask you, why do they call you the Queen of Speed? Tell me that, by the way.
Well, I've been racing a BMW S1000RR, and BMW's had sponsored me for my adventure on the BMW, and they would send a husband and I to Germany, to Garmisch-Partenkirchen for their BMW Motorrad days. And in their network, in their PR stuff, they called me America's Queen of Speed.
Nice. So you didn't name it yourself. You didn't call it yourself.
I was from America, and I'm coming to Europe, and I'm America's Queen of Speed. So that name just had stuck, and so here I am.
So I know that you're more recently now trying to set land speed records on the Bub. Tell me, what is it like going over 300 miles per hour down the Salt Flats? And how is it different from drag racing?
It's a complete difference. The Salt Flats is much more relaxing. It's much more
300 miles is relaxing.
It really is, yeah.
Okay.
Because in drag racing, you're doing everything in 6 seconds, 7 seconds. But the land speed racing, I'm kind of like, are we there to the measured mile yet? You have when I was in Australia, I have 12 miles.
Right.
So I have 7 miles to get up to speed.
Right. Because
we start at mile 0.
Yep.
And, I basically have 6.5 miles, technically.
Okay.
But that's a long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everything in racing slows down.
Yeah. Now, do you hear the wind? I mean, at 300 plus miles an hour, what's the sensation like in that tube that you're in? It's still a motorcycle, but you are surrounded, obviously, by a tube.
Yes.
What's the noise? What's it feel like?
Well, being in the cockpit, like I am on the streamliner, you don't feel the wind like you do on a sit-on bike or on a pro-stop motorcycle, or even on the BMW. You don't feel the wind. So you feel the wind when, in racing my BMW, I went 217 miles per hour.
Sure. In
a 1 mile stop standing race course.
Yep.
And you feel everything. But in the cockpit, in the streamliner, you don't feel anything.
Gotcha.
So I say speed is the easy part. It's everything else that really matters.
Sure. And it's pretty tight in there, isn't it? It's like, describe that inside, that sensation.
Well,
inside.
you are locked down. You might as well put some, what do you call it?
Vaseline?
You might as well put some you don't want no Vaseline. You might as well put some Loctite in there, because once your butt is in that thing, I try to even scoot back just to get, because every little inch, every little quarter, every little really matters. Sure. And there is no room to wiggle. Really.
So if you have to go to the bathroom, do it before you get in?
I always do.
So what makes this, because not a lot of people are familiar with the Bub streamliner.
Yeah.
What makes this so unique? Tell me a little bit about this machine.
Well, it stems from the creators of the motorcycle. The creators of Dennis Manning. I'm starting to get chills. The Dennis Manning design, and John Jans, Joe Harrelson, which are all the original, the master behind this 25-foot, 500 horsepower motorcycle.
Yeah.
it starts from there and the rest of the team. And what makes it really special is that nobody believed that Dennis Manning made such an incredible safe bike.
Sure.
He was not able to race at Speed Week because the bike doesn't have like a roll cage.
Yep.
So Dennis Manning, back in 2004, I want to say, said, okay, well, I'll go create my own Bonneville event, and I'm going to call it the Bub Speed Trials.
Of course, yeah. How did you guys get together, by the way? What brought you to him or him to you?
Facebook.
Facebook.
Well,
right.
I mean, I've known Dennis Manning since 2005 because I was one of the first 3 ladies to race at his event.
Oh, wonderful.
So I had been racing at his event. I started out with Charlie Mitchell on his Turbo V-Rod.
Nice.
TurboYourHarley.com, which is now owned by Nick Trask Performance.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I blew up a few engines from that days, but sorry. But it was a trial and it was a test, and and so it made them better. And now they're off winning things. whatever. But so that's when I first started.
Wonderful.
With Dennis. And then it was a recent post a couple of years ago that he was looking for a rider. Because Chris Carr set a land speed record in the Bub 7.
Yep.
And he actually set 2.
What were those? What speeds?
He went 350 miles per hour and some change and set the record. So he officially was, and the team was the world's fastest motorcycle in the world.
Yep.
And that's the one you want. That's the record. Yeah. Okay, Bonneville has many, many records, but that is the record.
Yep.
And then they returned back and they set a record of 367 miles.
Wow. That's
and
unbelievable.
then the next year, Rocky Robinson took away the record from Dennis, and Dennis so wants it back.
So you were there to break that record.
I was in Australia to break the record.
So let's talk about that. I obviously heard you were down under.
I was.
And,
literally.
Literally, that's true, yeah. Literally. And people aren't aware, you did attempt to break it. And tell me what happened. What did you experience?
Well, we experienced a great and amazing journey just to get there.
Yep.
Once we got there, things were like in go mode. We got into race mode right away. We made a shakedown pass, which I broke a record. So that's the great thing, Nice. So now I'm an 8-time land speed record.
Nice. And
I broke a record at the DLRA sanctioned event, which is the Dry Lakes Racing Australia event. And I went 328 miles per hour for my first shakedown pass. So
nice.
That was an amazing, fun time. It gave us the team and confidence because I hadn't been in the bike for over a year.
Sure.
So when you don't get to practice this kind of thing. You don't get to go to the local racetrack. You don't get to sit in it all that often.
Right.
They're based out of Grass Valley, California, and it's like, I'm in Arizona.
Right. We don't have
I go there and I visit and I get fitted for a new seat and. So, but, we did that, and then the next few days, it's a waiting game because we can't race the motorcycle with more than 3 miles per hour of wind in any direction.
Got it.
And it's very, they monitor it for us, and they're very kind to us. And they, they want us to go fast. We want to go fast. We want to break the record. So on the last day of the event, weather was great. And the start out of racing, because I'm being pulled by a tow rope.
Okay.
And I go up to 50 miles per hour, and it's mandatory you release the tow rope at 50 miles per hour.
Okay.
Because it's in the rules. So, so you got to balance. So I don't drive this motorcycle streamliner with, a steering wheel. I drive it with joysticks.
Oh, really?
Like the fighter pilot joysticks. It still has like the button for the bombs.
Wow.
So I have these 2 little things. They're called skids.
Okay.
And they're in the middle of the race bike. And when I feel comfortable and I'm stable and I'm going faster, I hit the skid button.
Okay.
And it pops up the skid, so I'm officially on 2 wheels. And
Wow.
I'm controlling a 25-foot motorcycle, and I have no room. Like, as you ride a motorcycle, you can lean.
Right.
You lean to turn. We don't turn, but you lean to keep the bike stable. Well, it's all in the wrist. They all say, full throttle, it's all in the wrist.
Wow.
Literally, it's all over my wrist.
Crazy.
That's what controls this to this to this.
So you're
and I have no room to wiggle. I'm completely, strapped in.
What about accelerating? How do you deal with that?
I have a foot pedal.
Really?
So I let my foot do the talking, and I let my wrist control where I'm going.
Interesting. So let's talk about that fateful day. Was it 10 days ago? How long ago?
It was March 19th.
March 19th. So you were looking to break a record.
Yep.
And conditions were good.
Conditions were ideal, and I got past my 3-mile mark, and things went sideways, literally.
Yes.
The last time I looked at the speedometer, and I don't look at the speedometer because once I'm in 4th gear, that's over.
Right.
I'm done. I'm not done, but I mean, okay, I've gotten into high gear. No need to worry about the screen because all I need to do is focus on my horizon.
Right.
And I saw 299 miles per hour, and then I said, okay, and I could feel the racetrack. The racetrack felt so soft, not soft, but felt so great, so smooth. It was like a night and day difference because a lot of the other prior racers that were at the event, they didn't race at the mile 0.
Okay.
They started at mile 3.
Yes.
And so I need that run-up speed because we're a little special.
Yeah.
So the minute it turned sideways, I was always told to parachute, keep your hands close to your body.
Yep.
And I wasn't able to reach the parachute, which the parachute will slow the motorcycle down in the G-force, which I don't really know what the G-force is, because you don't know what speed you're going to be.
Sure.
When you pull the reserve parachute, it deployed. It actually went out automatically because if the bike leans over at a 45-degree angle, the parachutes automatically come out.
So what you were going fast, you hit your 299. What was there?
That was the last time I saw the speedometer, and then I really was going 343 miles per hour later.
Oh, were you okay?
Yes.
Okay.
So when I officially crashed,
yes,
it was 343 miles per hour.
So was there anything that led up to it that you just started leaning over?
Yeah.
And nothing, it was out of your control, just kind of...
Oh, you can't recover. Once you're over, it's like on a motorcycle, you can kind of put your foot out, or you can kind of lean into it because, you use your legs and you use your body for your body weight. It's just like when you're driving or racing a pro stop motorcycle, it's your body that dictates if you're going to go straight or you're going to lean.
Yes.
And so we don't really know what the cause or what happened.
Sure.
But I did go up in the air, straight up, came down twice. I don't remember anything. I just remember wiggling my toes and my fingers, and I said, okay, if I can do that, I can get out.
Yes.
So I, got out of my harnesses and tried to crawl out, but I couldn't because my legs were hurting.
Of course.
So the paramedics and the fire crew were there within 28 seconds.
Wonderful.
And they didn't pull me out right away. They just kind of, first question they said, do you know what day it is? I said, yeah, it's the last day of racing.
You're obviously, you look okay. Did you sustain any injuries or?
I have bruisings and I have cuts. I bit my tongue. My neck hurts.
Right.
I was upside down twice, and I came down. The bike came down twice.
Sure. And
it came down without the canopy.
So a couple more questions. You're obviously an accomplished racer, rider. You represent obviously also women in riding. Do you consider yourself a role model?
I do now. I did before the crash, but it's really hard to consider yourself like an inspiration to the racing community, or just not to the racing community, just to people in general, because you're living in the moment. You're doing something that you're passionate about. So how could you think of yourself as being a role model or an inspiration to many other people? I mean, I got just as many women and men that I get feedback from.
Sure.
You're an inspiration to me.
Yeah. By the way, congratulations on your upcoming induction into the Sturgis Hall of Fame.
Yay! I think I'm in there somewhere.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe not.
Well, maybe
I wasn't there that year.
Next year. And, as you well know, we're a proud sponsor of the Sturgis Museum and Hall of Fame.
And thank you.
Absolutely. We've been doing it now for several years, and we'll continue to do it over the next however period they're willing to work with us, but long term. And, you and I spoke about a week ago, and, I was pleasantly surprised to see that you were being inducted, and we look forward to seeing you there. Yeah, it's well deserved. What when you first found out, were you surprised, or what was going through your mind?
I was totally taken off guard. I mean, when Jesse Jurens, which is my very first sponsor, like official sponsor, from Legend Suspension, he out of the blue called me and said, "Hey, this is what I did. You're gonna get a call."
Yeah.
And sure enough, I got a call the next day. And I mean, my whole world, just to build that confidence, to know that I'm going to Australia, that I'm leaving in a matter of a week and a half, was huge. And first person I called was Dennis Manning.
Yeah.
But besides Dennis Manning, I called my husband.
Of course. Yeah.
I was literally on the speakerphone, and I literally ran into his office, and I said, "Listen."
Yeah.
And so
your helmet, I know that the helmet has some remnants of salt on it. Is that right? Tell me about the helmet. What happened to it?
Well, I just got a new sponsor. It's a Rye helmet. And I just got it painted from House of Colors by Ron Floror. And man, the helmet's not reusable. But it's a great piece. Yeah. And my helmet is like my trophy.
Yep.
And, the bike numbers they're my trophies.
Yep.
Bike number. My helmet is my trophy. And I left the salt on my helmet.
Yep.
And I didn't want to take it off.
Right.
Because it's kind of sentimental. I will when it's time.
Right.
But yesterday was the first day that I actually saw the helmet after the crash. And I said, my helmet never got a scratch on it.
Yeah.
Well, it has a few, but just a little.
So, what's next for Valerie Thompson? What's in your future?
That's the unknown part, and that's why I'm sitting on pins and needles. But we'll get the bike back from the shipping container. It's in the sea it's been transported to the United States, and I'm hoping we can rebuild it. Yeah. I want to go back out there, and I know Dennis does, and I'm sure the team does, but we want to get back out there. We want the record. Yeah. We got a movie coming up. We want to, we wanted to capture that record in the movie, but we captured a crash in the movie, so.
Yeah. All right. Well.
It is what it is.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, and I congratulate you, and I thank you so much for your time. All right. Thank you again. Thank you again. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.